Hello, Georgetown. I'm Beverly Enos, and this is Spotlight Georgetown. Don't forget to watch for us on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. You can often catch us at other times, too. They kind of put shows in here and there, but those are our standard times that you will find us on the weekends. If you'd like to become part of the process and learn how to run a camera, or if you are an organization that would like to have one of your speakers shown or something like that, you can learn how to run the camera and bring it up to the station, and we'll make sure that it gets on air for you. We have the equipment and we have the people to do the training. So come and join us and have a little bit of fun. Today we're talking to Pat Rattay and Barb Harold, and we're going to be talking about what most people call the garden club, but it's a little more than that. Morning, ladies. Afternoon, ladies. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. It's good to have you here. We've got two people, so we'll kind of break it up. Now, how long have each of you lived in town? You get to go first.
Okay. My husband and I have been here for 19 years. We moved here from Farmington, Connecticut.
Oh, wow. That's a long move.
No, it's not. Well, we've moved all over. We've lived all over. My husband was with GE for a while, so we have been as far north as Schenectady, New York, and down as far south as Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay. So you like it up here?
Yes, very much.
Yeah. It's a nice little town.
Yes.
It really is. How about you?
We've been here just about 5 years.
Really?
My husband and I moved here from Florida via Wisconsin and Minnesota, so we've been around about. And
Wow.
this is we like this better than Florida. At least I do.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice part of the country. You have family in the area?
Just my
At home?
husband.
Okay.
Okay, but I do have two cats, Joey and Zoe. I must mention them.
And do they happen to be adopted cats?
Yes, they
Rescue
are adopted.
cats?
Yes.
Rescue cats.
All of our cats were adopted or rescue cats.
Yeah, we have a lot of rescue people in Georgetown. It's surprising. And what about you?
We have 3 adult children. My oldest lives in Minneapolis with her husband. My middle child is in Seattle at the moment, and Nate, and our youngest, Melinda, is up in Wisconsin.
Perfect. Lots of places to go visit.
Oh, yeah.
There's vacation, all built in. Now, each of you must have other interests other than gardening, because you can't really do gardening in the winter, or
Yeah.
can you?
Oh, well.
Well, actually, the last 3 years and continuing on to this year, when you're vice president and president, and also I'm on the Northern District Board, there's quite a few activities that keep you busy. So I almost don't even have time to garden in my own garden. I've had actually the past 2 years had to have someone clean up my garden in the spring and pay them to do it because I haven't had the time. But my husband and I like to go walking up in Maine, and we really love the Plum Island Refuge area.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of a Caribbean nut, so I go on the blog every day to check out what's happening in the Caribbean because we do travel there.
What about you?
Well, I'm one of these that kind of gets involved in the community. We've joined the Groveland Congregational Church, and we're members of the choir. And I'm also on their Snowflake Fair Committee. And I'm also a member of the Essex County Needlecraft Guild, which meets once a month.
As am I.
As well as I'm on the program planning committee there, and I'm planning the bus trips. And we have a bus trip or a carpool trip every other month or so. And in addition to that, as an occupational therapist, I volunteer at Windrush Stables with the therapeutic riding and the hippotherapy programs twice a week.
Really?
Yes. I get my horse fix. I don't have a
good.
horse right now.
We might have to talk about that another time.
Yes, we'll have to get them on. Windrush is
Between that and the Needlecraft Society.
Yeah,
so
we have to get them in. Yeah.
We'll get to know you even better.
And then at home, I have my own small business, Crafter's Trees, where I design and make puppets and hats. And
Yes.
try to sell them in craft shows.
Some of the funkiest puppets I've ever seen. Some absolutely awesome puppets. They have personalities the minute you start working with them.
Right.
They really do. We'll bring
they
them in
do.
someday. Now, how did each one of you get into, I'm going to call it the garden club, because
call
that's
it
what
for
most
that right
people
now.
do.
That's sure.
How did you get into the garden club?
When we moved here 19 years ago, I knew I wanted to belong to a club because I've always gardened all my entire life. And I guess it was the spring after we moved in, I went to the plant sale and gave my name for membership. However, I wasn't called until a year and a half or 2 years later because there was a waiting list.
Oh,
And
that's right, yeah.
really, because they used to have the meetings in the members' homes. So I think there was a limit of like either 30 or 35 in the
Okay.
club. Now there's no such list, thankfully. But I always say, I'm one of the ones who really appreciate being in the club because I had to wait to get in. You know?
That makes it even better.
Right, exactly.
Now, how long after you moved into town? 'Cause if you've only been here 5 years,
years.
how long have you been in the club?
5 years.
Did you?
Well, we moved here in the fall, and the next spring the garden club hosted their tour of gardens. So I immediately went to that because every time I go or move someplace, I plant flowers in gardens. So I found the garden club tour, and so I wandered on that, and I heard there was a local club, not realizing that they were the ones putting the tour on at the time. So I signed up and got involved because I was so glad to find a group of individuals who like gardens as much as I do, and helped to inspire me and coach me with my stuff. And I discovered all the other good things they do besides helping each other.
Now, it's actually it's CGG.
Mm-hmm.
Country Gardeners, Georgetown.
Country Gardeners, Georgetown.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. And we are first and foremost a civic organization, and we're also a nonprofit. And we're a member of the National Garden Clubs Incorporated, which has about 6,200 member clubs and about 200,000 members. And then we're also a member of the Garden Club Federation of Massachusetts, and that has 190 member clubs. And that's also broken down into districts. So we're a member of the Northern District. There's 25 clubs in that. I'm on that board. And then we have our own club. So we have all these layers of organizations. And the good thing is you can take part, you get all the information coming down from the national, down to state, down to district, and down to local. And you have a lot of activities available to you. And so we're part of a very large organization.
And you can do as much or as little as you want
Right,
as an individual member.
right.
That makes sense.
Yes, you can, yeah.
Because a lot of people don't really want to get into all of the levels. They may just
Right.
want to go to the garden tours and go to a meeting or things like that
Right.
once in a while. And what does the garden club do?
Actually do.
What do you?
Well, since we're a local civic organization of persons interested in promoting gardening and beautifying our community as well as educating, we offer education to the public. We support our community with several civic projects and programs, for starters.
Now, if somebody walked through the center of town and happened to notice all the window boxes,
Right, that's one of ours.
Country Gardeners.
Yes.
If they happen to drive through town and notice all the huge flower baskets on the telephone poles,
No,
Nope.
they're not ours.
those aren't
No,
yours.
those
No.
are not ours.
Oh, we should have let everybody assume they were.
Yeah, that
They're-
was
they're-
one project that was a little too expensive for our
expensive.
small group to
I
take
just
care
found
of.
out yesterday how much it cost, and we could not have afforded it.
Okay, but I walk in the mornings, and I've seen you and many of the others in the mornings picking out the flower, the containers,
Right.
Yeah.
and weeding downtown
Yeah,
in front of the town hall
yes.
and the
Town Hall is
island
one
in
of our
front of the
biggest
town
projects.
hall.
Oh, yes, those are our civic projects.
Town Hall was done twice, actually. In the beginning, when I first moved here, it was amazing what Town Hall looked like. I swear the grass was 2.5 feet tall.
Oh.
And my husband kept saying, quit complaining about it, do something about it. And that's what I did. Is once I got into the club, I asked the president then, I believe it was Barbara Morehouse, if we could take that on as a project. So we did landscape it as best we could, but then of course the septic system had to be replaced when they renovated everything, and so we had to redo it. But for our project, we did win a state award for the President's Bowl, which is the best project in the state, and that was in 2003. And then a few years later, we won another award from the state as the best continuous project for a club our size, and that
Okay.
was for Town Hall.
Now, what else around town do you take care of?
We do the traffic island immediately in front of Town Hall.
Of Town Hall.
Right.
Mhm.
We do Mary Nichols Park, which is right next to across from the window boxes, and right in front of the town parking lot. There's a
Okay,
little, that
yes.
used to, she was a president and member of the club, and that's where that little Japanese maple tree is. We do the Welcome to Georgetown sign on 133. What else do we do?
Sometimes projects change from year
I
to
know.
year.
The decorations.
Oh yeah, we do the holiday decorations too. At the around the holiday seasons, we fill the window boxes up. Those window boxes get done twice a year. The spring planting, which lasts through fall, and then we put the greens in at the holiday time.
Now, I've actually seen some of your members out there watering too.
Oh, yeah.
All summer.
I mean, it's not like these things take care of themselves.
No, that's
they
one
have
of the
to be
big
pinched
things.
back and watered and,
Yeah.
and
Right.
fertilized and
We're
taken
responsible
care of.
for the landscape, the design, the planting, the replanting, the maintenance. We do a fall and a spring cleanup and do a lot of cutting back and hauling away what needs to be removed and sprucing up what needs to be taken care of. And then all summer, all of our members sign up for a watering schedule, and everybody takes 1 or 2 weeks and goes and it's like I'll do the window boxes, and I'll go down there almost every day to water them.
Yeah.
Or Pat, a lot of times you're at the town hall with the plantings there, and
I've seen you at town hall more
and
than
somebody will
any
be
place.
out checking
Yeah, I know.
those,
That's
yeah.
my baby project.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I've even seen some of the members, and I don't know if it's one of the projects that you do, but I have seen members down there. The wall that runs on the side of town hall, there's lots of little flowers there.
Right.
I've seen people down there planting,
Ann Lacey, one of
weeding,
our
and-
members, she did that way before she became a member,
Right.
and she still does it on
Yeah,
her
she
own
does
time.
own, yeah.
And so some of you just do
Just
other
do it,
projects
right.
just because you want the town to look good.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, when we decide to do a project, one of the things that we have to incorporate is maintenance, because there's just plenty of things that get done, and people have this view of the project, but they don't think how they're going to maintain it. And so that's one of the things we definitely consider when we're taking on a project.
And most of them are long-term.
Oh yes, definitely. Once we start the project, we keep it as a project, and unless like we did have Harry March as a
Right.
project, and we used to put
memorial.
plant geraniums in there for years and years and years. But now that it's been taken over, we had to drop that.
Yeah. And Harry Murch is still very up in the air, so you may actually have a piece of that at some point in time in the future. You
Well,
never know.
I'm not sure. I believe the situation there is that it's supposed to be historically correct, and there are no flowers.
Oh, okay. And things change. You never know.
And things
Okay.
change.
You just never know.
That's what we were told anyway.
Yeah.
It could change. You never know.
Yes. Well, things change from week to week, and
Right.
when projects are
Right.
are being done, and even for the first few years after a project
Right.
is completed,
Yes.
because all of a sudden there's different people making decisions.
Right.
So you could be involved again. When was the Country Gardeners organized?
They were organized in 1953, so we're going to be celebrating our 55th anniversary this year. That's kind of exciting.
So 2008 is the 55th anniversary.
55th anniversary of the
Nice.
Garden Club this year.
And
yeah.
that's
and we
a nice
still
long
have
time.
one charter member as an active member.
Really?
Florence
Yes.
Hamlin
Oh,
is
yes.
coming. Well, hopefully she's coming. Our meeting is the 4th Monday this month. I believe it's the 22nd, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's, we're having a potluck, and she's coming for the dinner. We're going to be celebrating the 55th anniversary.
It's nice. I know an awful lot of the people stay in for a very long time.
Yes.
How many, now, you said before there were 30 members. About how many members do you have now?
We are average between 30 to 35 members. It's a fairly small club considering garden clubs across the state.
Is it?
And yeah.
Are some
yeah.
of them larger?
Oh, a lot of them are very big,
They
yeah.
group them in the federation. I believe it's like under 30, and there's just a few of those. And then medium-sized clubs go up to, I think,
50 to 100.
40, I think. And then there's like, they have small, medium, large, and extra large. Danvers
Yeah.
Garden Club is extra large. It's almost 200 members.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Now,
so.
I've been going to the fair for years, and one of my favorite things is to go into the flower building and the little windows that they have for the competitions.
Yes.
And they always theme them, and they have all of the plates and the cutlery and the flowers
And
and
the
the,
the
unusual
arrangements,
vines
yes.
and all those things. Now, those change 3 times during
Right,
the
I
fair,
think
and
so.
there are, I think, 4 sets of 4. So there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of those. Has Georgetown ever participated in those?
Actually, we have, yes. The one member who has consistently participated is Lisa Green,
Right.
who works at Noonan's.
Yeah.
Um,
2007, she took a blue ribbon there, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's various members who have participated,
Yeah.
and this year I think there's a possibility of 3.
So
Yeah.
if
We're
anybody
not
goes-
really. We try to get design into the club, but not many people are interested. I mean, they like to do it, but in terms of competition, I think most people are, I guess, not afraid, but more kind of intimidated.
Right.
Yeah,
There are
it's
a
kind of
few.
like coming out of television
Right,
show.
exactly.
There's a few more people every year. That, we've had 1 year we've only had like one person interested. Now we've got 3 and maybe 4 that have gone to the design school and trying to
Yeah,
to
now,
do it
yeah,
more.
this year we
design-
have 5 going
Yeah,
to the
to
design.
design
There is a
school.
design school.
Well, it's a design workshop.
Okay.
We are, being part of the Federation is really a good thing for the club. We've been federated since, 1955.
Right.
And that opens a whole array of choices for our members, because they offer programs themselves. So it's like they have flower design school, garden study school, environmental study, that sort of thing. And you can actually take, there's maybe 4 courses to each school. And it costs about $100 to go to each one. And there's even a test at the end.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't
Serious
have
stuff.
to take the test.
Right. But so if
But-
people really wanted to get involved and learn,
It's very
different things,
educational.
Right,
if
you
they
could-
could.
It's the emphasis basically is on education and conservation.
So if someone, let's say, retired and has always loved gardening and stuff, they could actually really find
Go in and
a
start
whole
yes.
new
for a whole
lifestyle.
nother-
Right, exactly.
Right.
That sounds
A
like
lot
fun.
of things to go.
That sounds like fun. Where do you meet and when?
We meet at the Congregational Church in town, across
Okay.
from Town Hall, the 4th Monday of the month from September to June. In December, we have a holiday social, and in June, it's our annual meeting, which is usually held at the beginning of the month. 7 p.m., the meetings are open to the public, as long as we're not having a workshop. That's only for members only, because we have to charge a fee.
Okay.
And that-
sometimes you have to limit
Right,
for supplies
right,
and
right,
things like
exactly.
that. So the 4th Monday of most months
Right.
at the Congregational Church, 7 o'clock.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. Monday's a good night.
Yes.
Yeah. It is a good night, because there's not many other clubs that meet that night.
So if you don't want to come to the selectmen's meeting, you can go to
Right,
the garden club.
exactly.
That's right. Yes. We have people have to split their time.
Now, at a regular meeting, would you have a speaker or a workshop or a show and tell, or
We
what
have-
types of things do
We
you do?
have different kinds of programs. They're mostly related to our goals and objectives. We have programs on conservation. For example, we had Bill Getty from the Joppa Flats Education Center in Newburyport, Plum Island, and he did a slide presentation on the bald eagles of the Merrimack River Valley. And we've had cooking with herbs. We had an actual hands-on,
Oh, that's
because the Congregational Church has a kitchen. Rita Wolmering, I believe her name is, from the Herb Pharmacy in Salisbury, came down, and we all cooked and made appetizers through desserts, and then
Oh, that's fun.
ate our work.
Okay,
Right,
so
right.
it's not you just go to a business meeting.
No, we have a
there
business
is-
meeting and a program,
program.
following the meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
Regular,
it's
yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yes, it's
We do,
quite
yeah.
a bit of fun. I think people, and you learn a lot.
Yeah, and we pick all the different topics, from floral design to conservation to horticulture. All the different areas that you want to be involved in are available through all these.
A little bit of
programs.
something
Oh,
for everyone.
yes, yes, yes. We're
Now
good.
there are certain guidelines that your club has in supporting the beautification of the community.
Right, we're based on our purpose and our pledge. We have a conservation pledge and our purpose, and we are, conserve and protect our natural resources, for one. We promote the study of horticulture, conservation, floral design, and basing gardening, promote civic beauty, so we become good caretakers of our environment. That's basically the two together. Our club motto, more manure than mink.
What was that?
More manure than mink.
We work hard.
And that means that well, this is what this motto
knows
was
this one
formed.
better.
When we had our 50th anniversary, Florence helped out quite a bit because she had been in the club since the beginning. And the more manure than mink is, I guess, way back then. The women used to wear like mink, jackets or whatever, and go out for teas and like gloves and teas and.
Right.
But this garden club is not like that at all. And what we do is we dig in the dirt.
Yes.
So manure in the dirt, and that's why
As
we're more
opposed to the
manure
mink,
than mink.
yeah.
So it's not a garden club that sits there and has teas and
Right.
and
Now, we don't miss a food very often, but we.
there's food involved all the time.
Right.
Okay.
And our current president's motto is gardening for a better community. So we use all of these things together and
Yeah.
go to our community.
It makes such a difference when you
Yep.
drive through town. I'm a walker, so every morning
Mhm.
I walk through town and I watch people's gardens grow in the spring,
Yes,
and then get sad when they're gone in the
Yeah.
fall, and watch the window boxes get filled and watch them grow. And
Yes.
it just makes it very special. Now you have a garden therapy program for seniors,
Right.
and that's held through the senior center.
That's held
At
at
the
the senior
Congregational
center,
Church?
right? And it's a series of 7 workshops for the senior citizens. We have 2 members who co-chair that committee, and they have various activities to do. It's more of an arts and crafts type arrangement, and the culmination is the April meeting where they have believe it or not, a seniors tea,
Okay.
and it's very well attended, and they really look forward to that. And some of the activities are doing pressed flowers, or making a wreath out of dried flowers, doing floral arrangements, small floral arrangements,
They can each
and
take one.
painting clay pots to be used for like putting a potted plant into it.
Okay, so this is something that's offered for any of the elders in town.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's the
And
same
they
thing.
also get involved in helping with, I believe, the Kiwanis
Thanksgiving dinner.
dinner centerpieces.
Centerpieces.
Where the club members make 36 centerpieces
Yes.
for
Yes.
the Kiwanis.
I've served that dinner for 20 some odd years, or no, 15, 20 years, and the centerpieces always come in. You also have a junior gardeners program.
Yeah, our juniors gardeners program varies from year to year. Some years we have an after-school event program that kids can sign up for, and some years we have we sponsor something for the school. Like last couple of years, one year we sponsored what's called the Plant Mobile, which is this van that came from the Mass Horticultural Society, and they provided an all-day program working with different kids about things about plants. It was a very educational thing. And another year, I may think this year, aren't we doing the posters? It's a national conservation poster contest about Smokey Bear or Woodsy the Owl, which are their conservation characters. So there's quite a bit of prizes. I believe, Pat, you said there's savings bond certificates.
Yeah, I believe, well.
I can't remember the amounts
we
exactly,
have,
but
yeah, we
you know,
have
the
to
kids,
have it approved, but we're hoping to offer savings bonds for the winners. And the National Garden
Yeah.
Club offers savings bonds and a trip to Washington, D.C.
Yeah,
That's
so-
exciting.
So
Yes.
we're going to be doing that with
Fun for the
schools.
kids.
Yes.
Now, special events. My
Special.
favorite. My absolute favorite of the special
Okay,
events
well,
is,
we have 2 that we call special events.
is the sale.
Right, but one of them we also do is an Arbor Day planting. We do an Arbor Day planting every year and try to have a little program for the community. So we always plant a tree and make it available. Last year we put one out by the library. We'll be doing some other ones this year. It's always someplace in the community. But our big event is the annual plant sale that's held the Saturday before Mother's Day every year.
If it doesn't rain hard.
If it doesn't
Right.
rain too hard. When we
Right.
flood, we do back off a week.
Right. I go, that's on my calendar every year. It's when I get my new calendar, I put it down because
chance,
that
that's-
morning I am there.
You're here.
I
right,
have
yes.
the length of my house behind the house on the golf course is all gardens.
Gardens, yes.
And I have bought nothing in those gardens except what came from
Some plants on.
the Country Gardeners.
Yes,
And-
we look forward to having you come to
Yes,
our sale.
definitely.
Yeah, it's just like the checkbook that goes
Yeah,
with it.
you
It's,
bet you betcha.
It's a donation.
Right,
It's a donation
and the
to
thing is, this is
town.
our only fundraiser. This provides most all of our money for all these civic projects, the watering, the maintenance, the care, maintaining the programs that we provide for around town, all the holiday decorations, all of those things are provided for this. So most of the perennials, matter of fact, all the perennials come from our own gardeners, our members' gardens.
Right, and
We
that's
dig
all I
them and
buy.
pot 'em, yeah. And then we also have local vendors and local nurseries provide us annuals and the fancy hanging baskets
Mm-hmm.
at cost so that we can make some money from them. So they're very wonderful.
And if the people in town think about how many times they're asked to donate $25 or $50 or $100 and get nothing from it other than the good feeling of donating.
Right.
So when you go down and you buy plants, you not only get the good feeling of donating, you get great plants.
Right.
Yes.
They're healthy, they're different, they're not things you can find in the nurseries. You have stuff down there that I have never seen in the nurseries. And
I do quite a bit
She
of.
does.
I started probably at least 5 years ago. This is kind of a project I really love.
She fosters the
garden.
perennials from our garden club
And
members.
I also start, after the plant sale, buying things from other nurseries and caring for them and then dividing them.
Yeah.
And so that's, I look for different things that no one else has, and I go all the way up to Maine to find things.
Well, I've got things some in my garden that are just taking over. So if you would like some of them back, just let me know. You
well,
can
They come to a
plant
digging.
sale.
This is great, yes.
And it's one of those, you find things that you literally could not find other places. Or if you went to a nursery and you bought even some of the small bushes or the small trees, you would be spending $25 to $30
Right.
for one stick.
Right.
When you can go down and buy a lilac for $4.
Right.
Or a bigger lilac for $7.
Right.
Right.
It's absolutely the best price.
We have
Deal around.
Probably sometimes 700 to 800 perennials is what
Available.
we start with. And usually at the end we might have 30 left over or something.
Yeah.
And we donate to the Victorian Condo Association because they let us have the sale
Use
there.
it.
Yes, please.
And some other organizations too we give to.
Right.
We have given to in the past.
Mhm.
And we take some of them back because just because they didn't sell doesn't mean they're not good plants. You know,
Right.
You know, always plant them and dig them up
We-
again
yes,
next year.
exactly.
for the next
That's
year.
exactly what happens.
Yeah. Now, the plant sale is actually held, usually it's held where?
This, where?
Yes.
At the Victorian Condo lawn.
All right, and a lot of people don't know exactly where that is.
That's across from the Park and Ride,
Okay,
on that corner of that lawn there.
that, what looks like an empty lot is
Yes.
actually part of the condo,
Right.
the home that's been
Right.
turned into condos. And,
That's where their septic system is.
okay, so it's a nice big flat open space. and
Right.
You can see the tents out there, and you have wagons so that if you get too full,
Right.
you can
You
carry
can
them
shop,
around,
right,
and
right.
or you've got a
And we
space
have a
that you
separate
can
hold area, so if
hold
you,
area
while
so
you're
nobody
shopping.
takes your prized
Yes,
possessions
that
that
is
you
quite.
found.
But that's become doubled in the last 2 years.
Well, it works.
It's a very good
It
area.
works
yes,
when
yeah.
something works like that.
Yeah.
You know, it makes it doable again.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have to congratulate you because when I spoke to you at the plant sale last spring, and said I would like to have you come and do the show, you went, no. And here you are.
Once you become president, it's like, oh, you just get dragged into a bunch of things that you
That's
didn't
right.
know that you didn't know you were going to be doing. So
That's right. Now, how would someone become a member?
First of all of our meetings are open meetings except for the workshops. So someone first has to attend a meeting, and that's publicized in the Georgetown Record,
Okay.
along with the program. And then if there's an interest, she or he can ask the membership chairman for an application, fill it out, give it back to the chairperson, and then that chairperson will ask one of the members, to write a letter of recommendation, and then it's brought before the executive board for approval. And all we're looking for is someone who likes to garden and is willing to support our civic activities.
Okay. So if I wanted to be a member, or if anybody wanted to be a member, you're not going to come out and judge my gardens?
No,
Oh,
you're not
definitely
going to come and check on my
no,
weeds?
No,
No.
We have beginning gardeners. In fact, we just have a recent member who just moved into town, and she says, I'm a beginner, I really don't know that much. But she wants to learn, and that's how people come in.
Because
We
gardens,
support each.
they're wonderful things. You go out and you've got the dragonflies, and I have
Oh, yes.
dragonflies and hummingbirds
Right.
and bees, but
Bees,
the bees are good things,
Yes.
and they actually stay within the flowers. It's not like they come into your yard or anything. And a lot of them eat the other small critters that
Right.
you really don't want around, like the mosquitoes.
Right.
So,
And we're learning more about the native plants this year,
Right.
and encouraging planting native for the gardens rather than the exotics. And
Yeah, the National Garden
Gardens.
Club, the president, she happens to be from Massachusetts, and her motto, everybody has to have a motto, and it's plant natives.
Okay.
And so basically, because they're, once you have if it's a native, then it's used to the area, so you don't have to fuss too much about it.
you don't
about
have to worry what zone it belongs
Right,
in.
exactly. And also, it's probably drought tolerant because it's been here. So limit your use of water, which we're always trying to do in terms of conservation. And so planting natives is really a good thing.
Now, do you talk about indoor plants as well?
Yes, we do. Not as much. I mean, we did have, I think, a program
we
last year.
had a program last year. Someone came and spoke about.
Some people are more into that than others, but most of our emphasis is on outdoor gardening. Here and there, we have an indoor plant.
We had program on orchids.
Yeah,
we've had programs
was
on
very-
small and mini plants you can have for your winter garden shelf, for your winter window, to help keep your brain sane during the winter time.
and we also, in terms of indoor plants, when we way back when, I think Florence did say they had a flower show, a standard flower show. But since I've been in the club, which is like 15 years, I think, we've never had a standard flower show because you have to really have a few designers.
Right.
But you can always enter the horticultural competition. So the Northern District has had at least 2 flower shows since I've been in the club. I've been on the board for that. And we've had, I've even won a blue ribbon for my tomato plant, believe it or not, and my Christmas cactus plant. But you enter like your entire potted plant, or depending for the things outside, like you take specimens from them and they put them in jars. And so we've had people win blue ribbons for the horticultural competition for their house plants.
There's some interesting house plants out there. I got a pencil cactus from Lisa Green, which is 7 feet tall.
Oh my heavens!
Oh yes, I have high ceilings, and I just bought a trumpet, something or other. Actually at a crafts and plant fair at the fairgrounds, and it's about 5 feet tall, and it has a
Not
trumpet.
angel's trumpet.
Angel trumpet. You
Yes.
got the
Yeah.
datura.
Peach color, and it is the most luscious smelling, beautiful thing.
Do you
And I
have any
it-
animals? Because that's one of the things.
It's very
No, I don't.
poisonous.
I
Oh,
don't
okay.
right
They,
now.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
They are very.
And it's
Every part is poisonous.
inside my house, and it's like having a perfumed
Yeah.
home. It's just gorgeous. So there are lots of things, and that's the other thing about indoor gardening. You have to know which ones you can have around children,
Right. Or
and
plants
pets,
and
make
pets.
sure that it's okay. I think we've done a great job today. Is there anything that we've missed?
One other thing, I would say we have a flyer and brochure that's going to be around town, so you can pick it up. Information about the garden club, where to
Great.
apply to become a member.
Okay.
Noonan's will let us have them out at their place.
And I imagine there'll be a town hall as
they'll
well.
be at the town
Yeah.
hall here.
Okay.
And I think that basically, if anybody's considering, joining or whatever, we do have a lot of fun. We start out with a business meeting, and maybe if you just stayed for the business meeting, it would be overwhelming. But once you stay for the program and you get involved with all the people, I think you really enjoy it.
And the break between the business meeting is snacks.
Okay. Here comes the food again.
You got to have that food. You can't have
You
a meeting
to have
without food.
I'd like to thank you very much for joining us
You're
today.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barb.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much for having us.
Anytime. Make sure that you take a walk around town and see what the country gardeners are doing. I'm Beverly Enos. This is Spotlight Georgetown. Bye for now.